Hi, I'm Erin with Body of Light Studio. Today we're going to do a progressive series for the core. This one will make your spine feel nice and long and also give you some free swinging hip movement and some ab workout. You'll need a block, possibly a blanket, and a bolster. This can also be a pillow or a couple rolled up blankets. Let's take a look at our anatomy before we start. We'll take a look at anatomy of movement and check out our psoas. So you can see the psoas muscle. Here it is spelled PSOAS. This is the psoas major, this is the big one, and then psoas minor is this tiny skinny one. We'll talk about the psoas major today. So it attaches to every single lumbar vertebra. Some people, this actually starts at the thoracic spine around T11, T12, and it attaches to all of these vertebral bodies down the spine. It crosses over the front of the pelvis and inserts into the lesser trochanter, which is a feature of the femur. Here you can see a picture of the psoas from the side. So this would be the front of your spine, and then this is the back of your spine, tailbone. So you can see the psoas coming through the pelvis and attaching to the femur there. Let's identify our lesser trochanters. So we'll take a look at our little guy here, and his lesser trochanter, so here's your greater trochanter. This little bump at the back of the femur is the lesser trochanter. So here you can see the lesser trochanter from the side, and then from the back, here's the lesser trochanter, that little bump that sticks out at the back medial side of the femur, and that is the bottom of the psoas. So we'll begin lying over your bolster in a side lying position. You may want extra support for your head. So go ahead and put some padding down there. It could be a blanket, a block, and you'll drape your ribs over the bolster and either rest your head on a blanket, which I don't need, or your arm. If this is uncomfortable on your shoulder, you'll use a blanket instead. Go ahead and extend your top leg long and reach your top arm over your head, hold on to your forearm. So you've got like little, oh, my little skeleton's in the way. You can make like a kickstand for your top arm with your bottom hand. So I'm lying on my left side, my left hand is holding onto my right forearm. The right leg is long. And you'll start to take nice deep breaths. You can close your eyes. And as you inhale through your nose, feel the ribs widen up to the ceiling. The right rib cage, the top rib cage widens up to the ceiling, and the ribs spread away from one another. So you're making more space between the individual ribs as you inhale. And as you exhale, let your head release, let your spine release. Maybe grow your leg, that top extended leg, a little longer. And it might feel good to give yourself a little rock back or forward. If this bothers the shoulders in any way, you can just rest your top arm down. You'll still get a nice side body opening here. We'll be here for about 3 more breaths. You're inhaling through your nose and exhaling out of your nose. See if you can sense the length through that psoas muscle that we just looked at. Your lesser trochanter of your top leg is rolling backwards, and it's reaching out of the pelvis, lengthening in the direction of your foot. And then you'll carefully bend your top leg, place your top hand down on top of your bolster or your pillow, push yourself up to sit, and we'll switch sides. You can just roll over onto your back. I'm gonna switch sides so I can face you. And again, you're going to drape your body over the bolster. Now I've got my right rib cage on the bolster. I'll lengthen my left leg long, the right knee is bent. You want to look down the side of your body and make sure you're a straight line from your foot to your hip to your shoulder to your ear. Usually our heads are farther forward in space, so you want to make sure that you're lined up. And lengthen your top arm over your head. For the side body stretch, you can grab a hold of your forearm with your bottom hand. Make a little kickstand support. Rest your eyes. Let your pelvis be heavy on the ground. Feel the expansion of your rib cage, especially the top rib cage as you breathe. You can imagine that your breath is sliding down the length of the psoas. So from the bottom of the thoracic spine, the top of the lumbar spine, your inhale flows down the river of the psoas. You can imagine the muscle as the riverbed, the psoas muscle as the riverbed, and the breath flowing like the water down the riverbed. Inhaling through your nose and exhaling out of your nose. And it may feel good to rock a little bit forward or a little back. Just keep your head nice and heavy. If you find a spot where you feel a nice stretch, stay there. We'll be here for about 3 more breaths. Gently gliding the scapula onto the rib cage, plugging the humerus, the upper arm bone, into the socket. Energy out through your fingers and toes. Feel the ribs spread wide open as you inhale. And exhale. Gently bend your top leg, place your top hand on your bolster, press yourself up to sit. And we'll toss this bolster out of the way. We're not going to use that anymore today. And let's lie down on your side and roll over onto your back. Place a block between your knees. Interlace your hands behind your head. And just let your elbows rest on the ground. A couple times you're going to rock your tailbone down to the floor, so it's like you're sticking your butt out towards the floor. You're extending the lumbar spine, meaning you're arching the lumbar spine away from the ground. And then on your exhale, you'll go the other way. You'll come into a posterior tilt. Your tailbone is tipping up to the ceiling, and you're flattening your lumbar curve on the ground. Let's do that a couple more times. Inhale to extension. You're moving past neutral into a back bend, and you'll exhale into flexion. You're moving past neutral again into a tuck. Inhale to extend the spine, the tail sticks out towards the ground. Exhale to flex the spine. Let's do that one more time. Inhale to extend, and exhale to flex. Now find a neutral pelvis position. What that means is that your pubic bone and your asis, your hip points, are on the same plane. So you can place like a cup of coffee or a glass of water on your abdomen and it wouldn't spill one way or the other. You're going to stay in that neutral position of your pelvis. Take an inhale. And on your exhale, narrow your elbows and just a slight nod of the chin to the chest to do a little sit-up. So this is not your biggest sit-up ever. Gaze at your pelvis. Did you tuck your tail? Don't do that. You want to keep the tailbone releasing down to the floor so that your pelvis is neutral. You still have that cup of tea balanced on your low abdomen. Inhale to release your head down. Open the elbows wide. Exhale, the elbows narrow. Draw your navel in towards your spine, and you do a sit-up. As you sit up, your sternum glides down. The breastbone softens back into the spine. Inhale to release the head. Exhale, elbows narrow. The back of the skull lengthens. The sternum softens into the body, and you do a sit-up. Again, check in. Did you tuck? You want to keep your pelvis neutral. The pubic bone is reaching long away from your sternum. Inhale to lower, elbows open. Exhale to lift. Let's just do about 3 or 4 more of those on your own timing. You want to keep the visual of that psoas muscle like a river flowing down from the low thoracic, the upper lumbar, down the sides of the spine, over the hip socket, and out through the lesser trochanters. So your lesser trochanters are reaching out of the pelvis. lower down, inhale, release your elbows. This next time, you'll narrow your elbows and just about halfway, half of what you were doing before, you'll float up. So your head is just barely hovering above the ground. And then let's do a side bend. You're going to side bend your right shoulder towards your right hip. Now check in with your pelvis. You want to keep your pelvis neutral. We are going to side bend in our pelvis later on, but not yet. This side bend is from the upper spine and ribs only. Come back to neutral, long spine through the center. Inhale, you're still hovering. Exhale, we'll side bend to the left. So your left pelvic half is lengthening away from the rib cage. You're shortening the left side of your spine. You're condensing the left side of your rib cage. You're expanding the right side of the ribs, and you're lengthening the right side of the spine. Inhale through center, keeping the pelvis stable and neutral. Exhale to the right. Let your head be heavy in your hands. Inhale to center so the throat is soft. Your shoulders are supporting the rib cage. Exhale to the left. Inhale to center and exhale to the right. Let's do one more time to the left. Inhale, center, and exhale to the left. Come back to center, take an inhale. On your exhale, you'll lower all the way down. Let's take your block out from between your knees, set it off to the side, and place your hands, thumbs on your low ribs, fingertips on your aces. So you have this connection between your ribs and your pelvis. You'll take a breath in, and on your exhale, draw your navel in, so the sides of the navel move towards the spine. Float your right leg up into tabletop. So tabletop is when the knee is right over the hip socket, the femur, thigh bone is perpendicular to the ground. Your knee is bent at 90, your hip is bent at 90, your shin is parallel to the ground. Lower the right foot, inhale. Exhale, draw the sides of the navel in, float your left leg up to tabletop. You will keep alternating side to side like that, lowering the foot as you inhale and exhaling to lift. As you do this, check in with your pelvis. Are you tucking? Are you flattening your lumbar curve? We do want to maintain our natural lumbar curve. You're not overarching the low back. You're not letting your teacup spill out in the direction of your pubis. You're keeping your pelvis level. So there is a teeny bit of space between the floor and your lumbar spine. Keep going, lowering one foot as you inhale, lifting as you exhale. And now you've got this feedback from your hands. Are you twisting in the pelvis? Are you twisting in your ribs? Are you shortening one side of the waist as you lift and lower the leg? You want to keep your ribs and your pelvis quiet, stable, neutral as you isolate the movement in the hip socket. This next time that your left leg is up, keep it up. Take an inhale. Exhale, draw your navel in. Keep it in. You can use your hand on your belly to make sure you're keeping the belly flat. Lift your other leg up and you're going to squeeze the legs together. You can bring your hands down by your sides. Knees over the hips, knees bent at 90, soft ankles. Press, press, press. Knees and ankles together. Inhale, feel your back ribs spread. Exhale, deepen the connection of navel to spine. Let's do that 2 more times, making sure that the pelvis is neutral. You've got a little lumbar curve at the low back. And you'll lower one foot at a time and rest. All right, interlace your hands behind your head again. Maybe switch the interlacing of your fingers. Take an inhale. Exhale, draw the navel in. Lift one leg to tabletop. Inhale here. Exhale, navel draws in. Keep it in, other leg up. All right, so same thing we did with the upper body. Now let's do it with the lower body. You're going to curl your tail to the right, so your toes swing to the right. You're drawing your right pelvic half up towards your right armpit. Inhale through center, the feet swing through the middle, your pelvis is level. Exhale, draw your left hip up to your left rib cage. Now just like we did before, we're isolating the pelvis. You're not shortening your left shoulder to your left hip. You're bringing your left hip up to your left shoulder. Inhale, swing the feet through center. Keep your ribs and spine neutral. Exhale, swing the right hip up to the right shoulder. Toes will point to the right. Inhale through center. Exhale to the left. Let's do one more time each side. Inhale, center. Keep squeezing knees and feet together. Exhale to the right. Through center as you inhale and exhale to the left. Come through center, take an inhale, and then exhale, lower your feet. We'll rest for just a moment before we add the two together and progress into a little more difficult of a series. All right, here we go. Take an inhale. Exhale, navel draws in, one leg to tabletop. Stay neutral, inhale. Exhale, keep your navel in, other leg up. Inhale here. On your exhale, keeping your pelvis neutral, float your elbows up and then just float the head barely off of the ground. You're really trying to lift from your rib cage dropping down rather than pulling your head forward. Your head gets to lounge back into your hands. Inhale. Exhale, you're going to swing your toes to the right, your right hip comes to the right shoulder, the right shoulder comes to the right hip. So you're really lengthening the whole left side of the spine, the left psoas. Swing through center, take an inhale, exhale to the left, your side bending to the left, you're lengthening the right psoas. Stretch out through the right psoas. Let's do one more time each side. Inhale, center, exhale to the right, right hip to right shoulder to right hip. Inhale, center, and exhale to the left. Adding on through center, take an inhale. Exhale, swing to the right, your side bending to the right. Lengthen your left leg on the diagonal. It's reaching out towards that right diagonal. Big inhale. Exhale, bend the knee. Inhale through center. Exhale, swing the toes to the left, shortening the left side body. Reach out through your right leg. Take an inhale. The right leg is reaching out to the left diagonal. Exhale, knee bends in. Inhale through center. Swing to the right as you exhale. Lengthen the left leg. Move slowly with control. Let your head be heavy. Exhale the knee back in. Through center, inhale. Exhale, toes to the left, left shoulder to left hip. Reach the right leg on the left diagonal. Inhale. Exhale, back in. Through center, inhale. Let's do one more time each side. Swinging to the right. Inhale, reach the left leg. Exhale to bend the knee. Inhale through center, heavy head. Exhale, side bending to the left. Reaching the right leg on the left diagonal. Inhale. Exhale through center, adding on. Inhale through center. Exhale, side bend to the right. Lengthen your left leg. Inhale. As you bend the knee, come to center. You twist to the right, up through the middle. Swing the legs to the left, twist to the left. And then reach the right leg. Find your side bend. You're not twisting anymore. That right shoulder has to lower to the ground. Exhale, bend the knee. You twist to the left, up through center. Feet point to the right. You twist to the right. Lower the left shoulder so you're in this neutral side bend, a level side bend. Reach your left leg. Inhale. You're in a pure side bend here. Now you twist. Left shoulder to the knees. Left knee bends in, curl up through center, toes swing to the left, you twist to the left. Now you lower into your side bend, right shoulder peels open, reach the right leg on the diagonal, inhale, exhale, bend the knee, twist to the left, through center, twist to the right, lengthen the left leg, peel your left shoulder open, inhale, you're in a deep side bend. Exhale, twist to the right. Let's do one more time through center, twist to the left. Inhale, reach as you peel your right shoulder open. Exhale, through twist to the left, through center. Hug your knees to your chest and lower all the way down. You'll open your arms into a wide V position and open your legs into a wide V position. So now you're a big X. And let's take our left leg over to the right leg. So you were in an X, keep your right leg where it is. You're taking your left leg over to your right leg, and cross your right ankle over your left ankle. So you're pinning your left leg down with your right ankle on top of it. And then you'll take your left arm over to your right arm and hold on to your left wrist with your right hand. You can let your head turn to the right. If this doesn't feel good on your arm, on your shoulder, you can let your forearm rest on your forehead for a little height, or support with your block under your arm. So you're in like this banana shaped curve, shortening the right side body and lengthening the left side body. Feel the openness down the front of the psoas, through the front of the left hip. Let your head be nice and heavy. The abdomen expands, the ribs expand as you inhale. Take one more breath. And then let your head rock through center. Open your arms into the V, uncross your ankles, open your legs wide. You're again in the X. Now your left leg will stay where it is. Right leg goes to the left leg, and you pin your right ankle down with your left leg. So your left ankle is crossing over the right ankle to pin the right foot down. And then you'll side bend to the left. Hold your right wrist with your left hand. Again, support your arm on your forehead or on a block if this does not feel good on your shoulder. Let your head gently rock to the left. Feel that right lesser trochanter rolling down to the ground. Nice and open through the right front of the pelvis, the right outer hip. Feeling the ribs expand. Let's take 2 more breaths here. The beat of your heart. Roll your head to center, open your arms wide, uncross your legs, and you'll bend your knees, place your feet standing, roll over to your side, and come on up to sit. And thanks for joining today. Hopefully you'll feel a little bit of a swinginess in your hips when you start walking around today. Have a good day. Bye.